Hello, everyone, and welcome to the special edition Chinese New Year broadcast with your friend Gretchen Heidel. I'm going over the Chinese New Year, or otherwise called the Lunar New Year, for 2024, the year of the dragon. Welcome if you're just joining me, you're just discovering my channel. I welcome you, and if you are a loyal follower, you are awesome, and thank you for tuning in. I normally do Western astrology. That is my specialty. Aries, Scorpio, Leos, the whole deal. That is what I primarily do. However, I do dabble in Eastern astrology, specifically Chinese astrology. And some of you may or may not know, if you've been a long time client of mine, I used to actually rent an office space where I did my astrological readings full time in an office that primarily had acupuncturists working in it. And as a result, we followed Asian customs. Like, we would take our shoes off when we walked in, and there was a lot of, sort of things like that. And every year, the owner put out a newsletter that was a Chinese astrology newsletter, and we celebrated the Chinese New Year at the office. So we always had a big party and everything. We would make dumplings and all kinds of really fun things. So I actually ended up writing that newsletter. And so it continued on that every year now I do something special even though I no longer rent that office space. And I did that for over a decade. And now I no longer do that, but I still have maintained the tradition within myself to do a Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year broadcast. So you guys are getting the benefit of it. This is a YouTube exclusive video. So if you are enjoying this video, like and share, make sure that you spread the word. And what I'm going to do in the video is I'm going to give you a general overview initially at first, and then I'm going to go through all 12 of the Chinese astrological signs and how that will affect you. So you will need to know what your Chinese zodiac sign is. There are plenty of free, just Google, free way to find out your your Chinese zodiac sign, what year you were born, and it will tell you online. And therefore, then you will be able to know. I'm going to timestamp this video so that you can click. I want you to listen to the general first part, because I'm going to be referencing this throughout the video, and then you can click on the astrological sign that fits you. We are going to be this year in the year of the wood dragon. So yay, it's a big, huge deal. Dragon years are big years. Every year, the Chinese New Year starts at a different time. So you might be like, when is it? Because it seems like it's all over the place. It is. It's based on a lunar calendar. Instead of us, which we're based more on a Gregorian calendar or a solar calendar, that is based on a lunar calendar. And it always takes place on the second new moon after the winter solstice. So if you find the winter solstice on your calendar, then go to the second new moon, and therefore it will take place. So it can happen usually anywhere between January 21st and February 20th. So it's extra super important if you were born between those times to really make sure that you find out what your actual Chinese zodiac sign is, because that's when it changes, and it can change at any point during that time each and every year. Okay, so Year of the Dragon. If you were born during the Year of the Dragon, I'm going to list out the previous year's dates so that you know what years the dragon were. 1928, 1940, 1952, 1964, 1976, 1988, year 2000, and then the last time that we were in the Year of the Dragon was 2012. So it's important to know that, because think about those years. First of all, do you know anybody born those years? So you might know a dragon. There might be a dragon in your life. Maybe you are a dragon. But also it's good to know, how did you do during dragon years? Were they good years for you? Maybe not so good years. It's good to kind of know, because past history can tell us these things. We call it the Chinese New Year, but really it's celebrated all throughout different Asias. In China, Japan, variations of it in Japan, Korea, Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam. There's all kinds of areas that celebrate the Chinese New Year, but we call it that, or we can call it again like the Lunar New Year. Dragon years are very powerful years because even though the Eastern zodiac signs don't have a direct correlation to the Western signs, there are signs that correlate with it. It's just that it's not an even sort of thing. There's a little bit of differences between each. So I'm going to list off when I go through all 12 signs what each sign is associated with in Western astrology so that you can kind of get an idea of like what the energy is like. Dragons are considered to be equivalent or similar to Aries. So if you are an Aries zodiac sign, you will understand a dragon energy a little bit more, I guess, or better than some other signs. It's a year about power. It's about strength. It's very much associated with good fortune. Dragon in Asia is considered to be a very fortuitous, very auspicious sort of symbol, and it's considered to be very much good fortune and financial. Now, I think this is a special sort of asterisk, okay, financial year, because we're also numerology in an 8-year, and 8 years are also considered to be usually associated with some degree of money or prosperity, or that we need to save or we need to do something. Doesn't mean everybody in this world is going to be wealthy in an 8-year or a dragon year, but it means that money is the focus and financials are the focus. Dragons are known for having wisdom, like I said, prosperity, passion. It's one of those types of things. It's either really big time success, or it's where there was a pipe dream and a fantasy and then we fell flat, on our faces. It's that kind of like make or break it type of an energy for a dragon year. It is associated, because you think about dragons are quite powerful. It is associated with natural disasters, sort of similar to earthquakes, tidal waves, the stock market either being really up or really down. In other words, it can be a little bit of a volatile energy because dragons are a little spicy. A time to reinvent ourselves. If you think of the energy of Aries, Aries is the first sign, though not the first sign in Chinese astrology. It's newness, right? And it's about reinventing ourselves. And dragons like to dress for success. Usually a lot of dragons like to, kind of dress up for the occasion. So this is a time to really put, maybe our best foot forward and to really lean into, being in alignment with success in our lives, because that's very much a dragon year. Now, new leaders often rise up during dragon years, and it's interesting because the United States, it's a pre-election year, during most of 2024. So we will be rising up. There might be new leaders coming up. Dragons are solo, sort of more independent sign. It's a sign associated with leadership, but not necessarily with like group endeavors. So it's a little bit more about, kind of being on your own, doing things in an independent way. And a lot of dragons have a big thirst for knowledge. So those are all really positive dragon traits. And it's also associated with being an emperor, which is kind of interesting because if you think of the astrological sign of Aries, the tarot card that's associated with Aries is the Emperor. So it's kind of interesting. It's interesting how all these systems, numerology, astrology, tarot, all kind of have like a sort of a theme, kind of woven through them. So dragon is the Emperor. Now, the thing that's special about this dragon energy is that it is a wood dragon. Now, in Chinese astrology, there are 5 elements. In Eastern, 5 elements. In Western, it's 4. So the 5 elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And the thing that's kind of similar to us, metal is sort of similar to air in our element sort of system. The thing that's kind of left out of Western astrology is we don't really have wood. So wood is different. So wood is actually associated with spring. The color associated with this is green. And to think about wood, it's warm. It's about being flexible. It can have a lot of strength to it. Wood can be very solid and strong. Think of big oak tree or something. Wood is a creative element. It definitely can be expansive. It is actually associated with Jupiter. The element of wood is associated with Jupiter. So if you think about expanding, that's a Jupiter thing. And it's associated with sensuality. Wood naturally governs. So you know how, if you think about elements that are associated with astrological signs in the Western, like Aries and Sagittarius and Leos, they're all fire signs. Well, wood signs are associated with tigers, rabbits, and dragons. Now, here we are in a wood dragon year. So that is like, dragon is right at home in the wood element, if you think about that. Now, the elements, even though I just listed out all those dates that there are dragon years, the last time we had a wood dragon year was 1964. So what were you doing back then? It happens every 60 years where we cycle back to the same element and the same, animal sort of symbolism representation. So it doesn't happen very frequently where we are sort of repeating that in a lifetime. So once every 60 years doesn't come by too often. So if you were born in 1964 as a wood dragon, you're having a wood dragon year. So this is the same element and the same, symbol, the dragon symbol. So that is like a real return for you. And think about 1964 and whatever happened back then in time. Now, the element of wood in the body is associated with anything that's like the autonomic nervous system. It's like the breath that we take and our heartbeat and digestion. In fact, it is really, dragons are also associated with digestion. So there's a little theme there. And it's also associated with the liver and the gallbladder in the body. And that's a wood year. How do we get to the dragon, right? Well, this whole system is based on a story about a race. And all of these animals kind of took, part in this race, and they all came to the finish line in a certain order. And that's how we got to Chinese astrology. So the first one is the rat, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, and now we are at the dragon. Now the dragon in this race, the mythology around this, was that the dragon was predicted to come in first place. I mean, hello, it's a dragon, right? You would think, of course it's going to be first place. That thing can like fly and just whoosh, And by the way, they were all having to cross this river, during the race. But the dragon was a little bit altruistic and actually flew off to save a village because, that's what dragons do, I guess. Went off to save a village of people. And then when he circled back, blew a puff of air towards the rabbit, and it helped the rabbit go before him because the rabbit was struggling to cross the river. And that's basically why he came in behind all of these other characters, the rat and the ox, the tiger and the rabbit. That's why he came in during that time, because he was out, he was busy, super busy, multitasking, saving the day, which I think is a very sort of, remember dragons associated with Aries. That's a very Aries thing to do, I guess, the hero and the heroine archetype. And then also even assisted the little bunny, the little fuzzy bunny. So that is what the deal is with the dragon. So we've had a plethora of different years now, and rat is the very sort of first in the Chinese zodiac, and pig is the last in the Chinese zodiac. So the dragon, what is this, fifth place here? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's the fifth place placement in this race. And if you're enjoying this broadcast, go ahead and comment below. What's your Chinese astrological sign? I'd love to hear. Also, make sure that you like this video and also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more fun videos like this. What I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to go over each and every Chinese zodiac for the predictions for the year for you. Now, you might want to listen to your sign, but also the sign of loved ones. If you have a parent, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, you might want to listen to multiple ones. And like I said, I'm gonna put below the timestamp so you can jump right to that particular one if you want to hear just those. And yeah, so let's get started. You're the rat. So the year of the rat, like I said, the rat is the first. We last had this in 2020. That was a rat year. Whoa, that was a pretty powerful year. The next time we'll have a rat year is 2032. For you rats, rats are considered to be equivalent to the astrological sign of Sagittarius in Western astrology. Good news, we start off strong here because rats and dragons are very compatible. So this is going to be a great year for you if you are a rat. Rats are very, very resourceful. This is going to be really good. Like, it's kind of like the sky is the limit for you. If you want to get married this year, have a baby, buy a new home, get a new job, whatever it is, this is not the year for you to hold back. And when I say year, this again is the Chinese New Year. So it's now to, next January or next February. This is definitely about making big moves during this particular year. And it's also a more social year for you if you are a rat person. There's a lot of prosperity, so you want to look at, sort of building your wealth this year and making some big moves in that way. Now, the big thing with you rats is that you need to let go of clutter this year because rats tend to be a little bit hoarders and tend to hold on to certain things. So letting go of clutter and also working on balancing your nervous system. Be gentle with yourself, maybe trying yoga or walking or stretching program or something like that. Rat's nervous system, you guys are very busy. Tends to get a little overworked or overtaxed. So you might want to work on that. The best months for you, rat, are April, August, December, and next January. Okay. And winter is going to be especially auspicious for you, not this winter, not right now, but next winter. And so those are going to be the best months for you. But this is going to be a great year for you rats. The next one is the ox. Welcome to the year of the dragon oxes. While I had great news for rats, oxes are challenged by the dragon year. This is going to be quite, little up and down for you. You guys are very steady. And by the way, oxes are associated with the astrological sign of Capricorn. So you guys are very steady. We last had an ox year in 2021, so this was recent that we had your year, and the next year is going to be 2033. Now, you guys, again, being associated with Capricorn, are very hard workers, very goal-oriented, all that stuff. But the thing about this year is that you could get too much piled on your plate. You could be asked to do too much responsibility but not really compensated for it, oh, you get to have more work but I'm not going to reward you. You have to be very careful of people taking credit for your work this year, oxes. Someone else could sort of step in and say, oh, that was my idea, when really it was your idea. So you want to watch that. Don't miss, and it's kind of like people might mistake your kindness for weakness this year. So you really, not that you want to walk around and be a jerk to people, but you really want to have good, healthy boundaries with people this year. I mean, I think that's really the thing, because oxes can get quite angry when you guys get fired up. And it's really a good year to also think about stepping outside of your box. Capricorn likes to sort of stick with tradition. Oxes like to stick towards tradition. So you really want to step outside of your box and really step into a little bit more creativity. This year it's going to be because it is a year that's sort of a digestive year, if you will, with having the wood element. You're going to want to stay away from processed foods, be cautious with overuse of drugs or alcohol, and really focus on relaxation, because it's like it's a hard work. You guys are hard workers anyway. And it's very important, because this year is challenging you to not ignore any kind of brewing health thing. You really want to if you get a symptom or whatever, you want to make an appointment and go to a doctor, in other words. Okay, so good months for you are going to be May, September, December, and January. So really you can see things pick up more for you in the latter part of the year. And winter time in general for you is going to be better than the start of this year. I'm covering is Tiger. Okay, welcome Tigers, the year of the dragon. You are here. The last time we had a Tiger year was back in 2022. So we just recently had one. Tigers in Western astrology sort of, kind of are equal to Aquariuses. Again, there's some minor, differences between the two. This is going to be a pretty good year for you. Now, it's interesting because I just said in the beginning part of the program, dragons are associated with being an emperor, but tigers are associated with being a general. So here we have two leaders that could, clash a little bit. Tigers need to be more observant this year. You guys need to be kind of more on the lookout for opportunity, but kind of like more quietly, because it could be a year that you get kind of challenged a little bit because there's a lot of, chefs in the kitchen, but not enough cooks, if you know that old saying. This is time to stay strong and stay observant. Pick your battles wisely. And even walking away from any kind of a challenge might be better than getting into it because of the fact that you could be perceived as being a threat. But like I said, it's not a bad year. In fact, it's a year for you to regroup this year. Look, there's always another day. There's always another time that you can get right back at it. So if you have some kind of setback or something, this is a time for you to regroup, especially if the last few years has been a little bit difficult. Your real comeback year is coming in 2026. Okay, just so that you know, during the year of the fire horse, that's going to be 2026. So it's really, this is a year to kind of make some steady progress and just not really get too embroiled into like kind of getting into battles. Now, this is a year that if you're single and you're looking, you could be quite picky or discerning about love. You might have gotten hurt recently in these past couple years or whatever, and this is a time to really be like sort of discerning and thinking about who your ideal love partner is and not just jumping in. Sometimes you jump in too quickly. So you want to kind of look at that. Now, really good times for you are going to be June, October, November, and next February. Autumn is going to be your time of the year this year. Okay. So, and by the way, you guys need to have stress relief this year when it comes to your health, and actually learning about healthy communication, improving your communication is going to be good. And cardio, doing some kind of cardio. Now, again, check with your doctor, but doing some kind of cardio could be helpful for you, like running or biking or something like that, because it could help to, you're going to be the quiet observer this year. So you might need to kind of work off some of that energy that gets pent up. Next is the year of the rabbit. Welcome, rabbits. This is your forecast for the year of the dragon. The last time we had a rabbit year was just last year. 2023 was a rabbit year. Water rabbit. We just came out of the rabbit. Remember in the story about the race, the dragon helped the rabbit so that the rabbit could come in safely across the water. So that was your year last year. You're adjusting this year. It's a so-so year for you. I'll just be honest. You're kind of, it's a mixed year. I want to say so-so, but it's like a mixed year. There could be gains, but there could also be losses. You might have to adjust to a lot of changes. Really, the thing about with you is you got to slow down because rabbits tend to be speedy, right? Now, Pisces is associated with rabbits. When you look at Western association here, Pisces is associated with being a bunny. This is the time to build on what you started in 2023. Like I said, last year was the year of the rabbit, and you want to start on 2023. This is best for expanding the best thing this year for you is expanding your social circles, really exploring your connections, sort of building your community, all of that type of stuff. And if you have to make big moves this year, get a second opinion, seek advice, go to your elders, go to your like maybe professionals that do those things, and really like sort of get a second opinion about things. You're, like I said, you're building on, but you're only at like last year was the year 1 for you. So now this is year 2 of whatever you were starting. And so you're really in the baby stages, and you really want to double check sort of your work and see, well, was that a good idea or not, and those types of things. Now, as far as health goes for you this year, it's important to rest. And rabbits are always just, like I said, go, go, go. So you want to make sure that you focus on your digestion and your hydration this year. Maybe even learning about breath work or meditation or something that where you can calm your nervous system a little bit. The best months for you rabbits are March, July, October, and November, and springtime is especially auspicious for you. So that's a good time to make some moves. All right, dragons, this is your year. Welcome, welcome, 2024. This is the time for you. And like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, Aries is associated with dragons. I want to just say this. In Chinese astrology, there is a little bit of a thing where they say, and I'm just telling you this is the way that system works, that if you're in your own year, it's not necessarily a great thing, because it is said that you would be offending the god of the ages named Tai Sui, I think is how you say it. I'm going to put the spelling on the screen here. I probably mispronounced it. Back and you're sort of offending that god or sort of, confronting that god. And that's basically the mythology behind that. I don't necessarily totally subscribe to that, but I want to teach you the proper way. And, like I said, think back, was 2012 a good year for you, or some of those other years that I listed? And then you can be in charge of deciding for yourself. It's because we're coming home to your native, sign, Eastern astrology sign. This is go big or go home for you. I mean, we are in the dragon territory here. So this is a new, fresh year for you. This is a brand new year for you. You're starting a brand new life cycle this year. So this is time to lay down all that groundwork. It's almost like a new moon for you, right? Like you're going to be, planting seeds and trying to, whether it's a new job, a new home, a baby, a marriage, whatever it might be, this is time to really lay down that groundwork. In other words, your love life also is going to like sort of kind of resolve itself this year. So it's like, it's a little bit of like big decisions are going to be made this year in reference to that. There might be a little bit of upheaval, and it's kind of interesting because the theory in Eastern astrology is that upheaval makes your sign specifically stronger. Like the more battles that a dragon goes through, the stronger the dragon becomes. So it's almost like it's looked upon as not necessarily a bad thing for a dragon to go through a little something. Now, you have really good friends this year. Rats, snakes, monkeys, and other dragons are here to help you. So again, you might want to know who are those people in your life, because they are going to be your helpers specifically this year. Now, because this is the year of the dragon, dragons are associated with digestive. And so this is definitely a year, if you are a dragon, that you could, have some kind of digestive issues. And again, if that's the case, you might want to see a doctor and, do those things. You might have to change your diet. You might have to take supplements, whatever. But digestion is sort of a thing for you this year. Now, the best months for dragons are April, August, September, and December of this year. And springtime is supposed to be the most auspicious time for you, dragons. So welcome to all the dragons, you guys. I'll be excited to hear. And if you guys want to comment below also, let me know in the comments, how were those years for you? Were they good years, not good, or whatever? Next sign is the snake. The last time we had a snake year, it's been a while. 2013 was the last time we had a snake year. And the next time we have a snake year is next year, because snake comes right after dragon. Now, snakes in Eastern astrology, Chinese astrology, are considered to be little dragons. It's almost like it's like the big dragon and the little dragon. So now this is associated with the astrological sign of Taurus in Western astrology. And so you guys are having an ending year. This is like where we're wrapping up something in the life cycle. It's almost like a little bit of a time where you're finishing something, you're completing something, you're wrapping it up, because next year is a new, brand new life cycle for you. So a lot of times I feel when that happens, you'll be coming into your own, whatever you've been working on the last 12 years, because that's, each and every Eastern zodiac sign has one full year, right? So it took 12 years to get here, all the way since 2013. So think about what you started then, and now you're coming to that completion. Snakes are considered to be the power behind. So if you think about a dragon is considered with yang or yang energy, male, masculine energy, where snakes are considered to be the yin to the yang, okay, or yin to the yang, where it's more of a feminine kind of energy, like the power behind the throne, so to speak. This is a time to watch and study what the dragon does, okay? Because you're going to be having to do this next year, okay? And you're going to be almost like a protege of the dragon. You want to watch what's going on right now, learn from it, okay? Because you're going to be stepping into power. You're going to be the one next year. Education and travel is a big thing for you this year. Expanding your education, traveling a little bit more. It is a year of contemplation. And it's funny, but loans and banks and loans are your friend this year. So if you're trying to expand your wealth, this is a good time to do that. Now, snakes, you have to watch your skin this year. This is sort of your weak area of your body. You have to watch your skin, but you also have to be careful with medications this year. So, if you get prescribed a new medication, you might want to double check with, a pharmacist or something before you take it. Certainly don't mix medications or anything like that. Your skin is very important. This might be a good time to check with a dermatologist. Maybe, again, asking your doctor if this is appropriate, taking vitamin D, all kinds of things like that. You want to make sure you use your sunscreen. But otherwise, this is a really good year for you, snakes. And your best time is going to be April, May, September, and January of next year. Summertime is going to be the best. Hopefully you'll get a little bit of vitamin D in that summertime season. The next one is the horse. Welcome to the year of the dragon. The last time we had a horse year was 2014, and then the next time will be 2026. We'll have a fire horse year in 2026. This year is going to be a little so-so for you, horses. Horses and dragons don't really get along too well. And so this year might be a little challenge to you. Now, in Western astrology, horses kind of have a correlation with Gemini. So this is a challenge maybe year where there might be like highs and lows. You need to learn to, during these challenge times, to like kind of unplug, enjoy your family and friends, be social, which might actually be a little challenging because dragons are solo creatures and horses are social creatures. So when you think about those two, dragons are very independent, but really that's where you find your happy place. Horses is to be with your community and your groups of people. If you think about Gemini, right? That's community and groups of people. This is a good year to let go of bad habits, okay? And kind of get into like accountability for yourself. It's a really good time for you to have spiritual renewal. So it's almost like finding your why, finding your faith, kind of digging deeper into that part of yourself, because you might need to, especially if you're having a little bit of highs and lows, it might be a good time. The good news thing, I have two pieces of good news for you. Even though the horse's year is kind of iffy, it does get better after June, okay? So that's good. And the other thing is that bankers are on your side. So if you have to go to a bank, if you need a new credit card, you need a loan, you need something like that, that could be helpful too. Maybe this is a good time to refinance something, or, consolidate your loans or whatever it is. Now, good times for you are going to be June, July, October, and then February of next year. And summer is really a little bit more auspicious for you. The big thing with you is this year is boundaries, really, and learning to balance, finding harmony with your diet, finding harmony with your exercise. All those types of things are very good for the horse. Because you guys are on the go a lot, and you got to take time for you, boo. That's what the deal is. The next one is sheep or goat, whichever one. I'm going to refer to sheep as goat, just so you know. And this is your broadcast, your time for the year of the dragon. Now, goats are associated in Western astrology with the astrological sign of Cancer. The last time we had a goat year was 2015. The next time will be 2027. This is going to be a little bit challenging. Goats and dragons are not entirely compatible, but dragons do help to kind of fertilize goats' ground. Dragon years tend to kind of fertilize goats' area where they live, the fields that they're going to be. So this is a good time to plant new seeds and kind of know that you can sort of grow and fertilize whatever it is you're working on. However, the energy is a bit erratic. It's very kind of up and down. It's not going to be a boring year for you goats. This is the year that you are deciding on a relationship, whether to go forward or not. There's big decisions in your relationship arena. So if like you're married or you're single, whatever, you're going to be deciding on some things this year. If things have been going well for you, that should be, not a big deal. You just might be making big decisions with your partner, like if you want to move, or, you're going to have a baby or something. But goats that have been unhappy are going to probably call it quits. I mean, I think that could be a, a thing, because you're going to be working on releasing burdens this year. So even though this is not going to be like the most stellar, amazing time, it could help you to release some negativity in your life. Now, you have to kind of know that you're in this for the long haul. You are in a marathon, not a sprint. So you have to work on releasing tension. You got to be mindful this year, goats, of mental health, anxiety, working on your sleep patterns. There's a lot of things here, and you want to really work on preventative measures, preventative medicine. So if anything's kind of coming up for you goats, you might want to really go to the doctor, really work on not letting things unravel and get too far out of hand with your health. Okay, so the best time for you this year is March, June, July, November. Summertime is better for you. Next winter is going to be a little hard. Okay. So hang in there, goats. It won't be entirely bad. It's just a little bit more challenging than some of the other years. Now we switch into the monkey. Monkeys, this is your year of the dragon forecast. This is a fantastic year for you, monkeys. You are in good luck. The last time we had a monkey year was 2016, and the next time will be 2028. Now, in Western astrology, monkeys are associated with Leos, okay? And so if you think about Leos and Aries, right, they get along really well, because dragons are associated with Aries. So this is like go big or go home, another one of those. Like, this is time to lay down all kinds of good groundwork in your life, marriages, children, moving, just really, this could be a time where you're really like kind of just having a good time this year. You're wanting to focus on fun. You haven't really been having much fun lately. So monkeys, you're going to be getting back into the fun zone. The last like 2 or 3 years has been hard for you. So this is about having merriment, making good times, positive memories. You could get a little overboard with entertainment, okay? Like spending too much money on a cruise, or on a, some kind of concert tickets, or a casino or something like that. Like, in other words, entertainment is going to be a passion, but it also could be costly and expensive. But hey, if you have the money, hey, this is the time to kind of splurge a little bit and spoil yourself. Even though this is going to be a very good year on many levels, and especially money, you might want to put aside your money somewhat, because you could, like I said, go overboard on the entertainment. Maybe it's just going out to dinner one too many times, or getting DoorDash one too many times. You want to like conserve some of this good money that you're getting, because you're not always good at saving your money, monkeys. Now, as far as health goes, again, this is a positive year for you, so you can enjoy pretty good health this year. You might want to focus on incorporating some new activities into your physical. If you always wanted to try Pilates, or if you always wanted to try kickboxing, or whatever thing it is that you are into, this might be a good time to like pick up a new activity. Careful with addictions this year, because you could go overboard and too much overindulgence in certain things, because it is sometimes opulent years are not necessarily good for the waistline, if you will. Now, positive times for you, positive months, your power months are April, May, August, and December. And this year, autumn is going to be your auspicious time. So the next one is Rooster, the year of the Rooster, or sometimes it's called the Phoenix. I'm going to refer to it in this broadcast as the Rooster. Welcome. This is your dragon year forecast. The last time we had a Rooster year was 2017. The next time will be 2029. Roosters in Western astrology are considered to be Virgos, or sort of close to Virgos. This is going to be a very good year for you, roosters. And also, if you think of the phoenix, right? Dragons and phoenixes, my goodness, they would get along really well, right? So you're very compatible with a dragon. So this could be a good year for you with lots of rewards, good luck, new projects, all kinds of things. Next year is going to be the year of the wood snake, and that is going to be also good too. So you're lucky, roosters. You're getting 2 good years in a row. So that'll be very, very compatible. The only thing with you guys is you might just have too much on your plate this year. You're going to have a lot of stuff. I mean, there's going to be maybe too many tasks. If you think about roosters being similar to Virgos, Virgos are a workaholic. So, I mean, you could be taking on too much and not saying no enough. This is going to be a year where you're like kind of extra charming. This is going to be very good for like love and social. Like you're just going to have like the je ne sais quoi, sort of, positive things about you. You just have to watch as far as your health goes, watch your temper, because roosters can have a temper for sure. You want to balance work and rest, because like I said, you're kind of a workaholic, roosters. It's good to be busy, and that's good, but you just want to make sure that you're balancing that, anything that's too much of something is not good. Your power months this year are April, May, and September, and next January. And autumn is going to be a fantastic time for you for roosters. So enjoy. The next one is the year of the dog. Welcome, dogs. This is your year of the dragon forecast. 2018 was the last time we had a dog year. 2030 is going to be your next time that we're in a year of the dog. Now, dogs are associated in Western astrology with Libra. I have bad news for you, dogs. Dogs and dragons are opposite of each other in the Chinese zodiac. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenging year. In fact, it might even feel like a full moon to you in some ways, because it's an opposition, meaning that things are difficult. Dragons and dogs fundamentally think of things very differently. So if you think about Aries and Libra, right, that's a fundamental difference. Aries is associated with dragons and Libra with dogs. So there's almost like a challenge here to your like your core values and your core beliefs. It's like challenging. This could be challenging to you with coworkers, or with your partner that's living in your house, or literally politically, maybe even, that things are just challenging your core beliefs and your system. So therefore it's advisable to kind of lay low a little bit. this year. Keep a low profile, no getting into the fray, no getting into fights, because dogs, you're very loyal, and you can be very protective of those you love. So it's something that you don't want to do, because you do run a risk of lawsuits this year. So you really want to make sure you like stay out of the fray, kind of keep it low a little bit. There could be some misunderstandings, like I said, and there could even be a hesitation with things. So like, let's say you're like on the fence about taking a new job. It's like you don't have that self-confidence as much. Now, it's a good idea to pursue alternative health things, healing modalities. If you've never tried, if you're having any kind of sort of health issues, it's a good time to try some alternative solutions. And it's also really imperative, dogs, to improve your home life and improve the quality of food you eat, because it's going to be a challenging year. You want your home base to be peaceful, obviously, and not be, so challenging. All right, so your best months this year are March, June, and October, and February of next year. And autumn is going to be an auspicious time for you. So I hope that helps, dogs. And the last but not least, we have the pig or the boar. For the sake of this broadcast, I'm going to say boar. And this is your year, the dragon forecast. The last time we had a boar year was back in 2019, and the next time won't be again until 2031. Pigs and boars are associated with the Western astrological sign of Scorpio. Okay, so this is going to be a very expansive year, and surprisingly not too bad. Now, pigs and boars don't get along very well with dragons, but it is going to be a time where there could be new love, a rebirth of love. Think about what your love life was like in 2012. It might not have been a good year, but we're coming into a better year this time around. In other words, relationship is going to be catalyst. It's going to be a catalyst in your life. It's going to either kind of make or break you. It's going to put you in a new life trajectory. If you are doing anything legal this year, it is a good idea to consult with attorneys. We need to have, boars and pigs need to have extra help with, getting a second set of eyes on paperwork or contracts or something like that. Investments are going to go very well for you. But the biggest thing for most pigs and boars are going to be family matters. Actually, this year, family is going to be on the forefront for a lot of boars. And something from the past might return to boars this year as well. Like something from your past might come up and really influence this year for you. Now, as far as your health goes, it's important because this year is going to be a lot of personal stuff. If you heard, listen to what I was saying love and relationships and family. It's all like interpersonal. So it's a good idea to focus on your mental and also your spiritual health this year. And remember to take things in small steps. It doesn't have to be a big over the top, like you're going to overhaul like every single thing in your life, to become healthy and develop like 25 healthy habits. Remember, it starts with a small thing. So maybe you go for a walk around the block at the end of the day, and then you go for two walks, around 2 blocks and 3 blocks. It's like about having small little steps within your arena of health. Now, your best auspicious months are February, March, July, and November. And you are lucky because you get 2 seasons of auspicious time, which is autumn and winter of next year. So you have 2 auspicious seasons coming in this year for you. So that is the forecast and this year in astrology, Chinese astrology, zodiac signs. If you like this broadcast, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more fun things like this. And definitely learning about astrological, all things fun and astrological. If you'd like to have a personalized Western astrology session, please feel free to let me know. And I hope you guys have a wonderful wood dragon year.